I ain't sleep today, but I'ma be okay. Miss my family.
Alright, hey, what's up, everybody? We're here and we're ready to dive into the interesting and intricate subject of fireworks.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say fireworks?
Yeah, man, fireworks.
Bruh.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about fireworks and the chemistry behind them. So if you've ever wondered what happens or what takes place when you see the colorful explosion in the sky, well, we're gonna get into it, but let's start with defining what fireworks are, and then we'll get into a bit of history. And then
Alright, bruh. Stop stalling. Just go already.
Alright, man. God. Okay, so what are fireworks? Well, they're low explosive pyrotechnic devices. And a little background about pyrotechnics, if you didn't know already, it's the science of using materials capable of undergoing self-contained and self-sustained exothermic chemical reactions for the production of heat, gas, light, smoke, and sound. And you'd be surprised, it's a lot more than just the manufacturing of fireworks, but other items like safety matches, oxygen candles, explosive bolts and fasteners, components of automotive airbags, demolition, and just plenty more. But let's get back into it. Fireworks are typically used for aesthetic and entertainment purposes. So, like, if you've ever been at a fireworks display or show, then you most likely know what I'm talking about.
Daniel, dude, we get it, dude. Just move on.
Alright, man. Alright, let's continue. Okay, so now that we went over what are fireworks, let's talk about the forms of fireworks. Because the thing with fireworks is that they take a lot of forms. But let's talk about the four primary forms. The first one is noise. So if you've ever heard a firework that starts like screeching or screaming as if it's a demon from the underworld, yeah, that's one of its forms. And another common noise that you'd probably hear would be that of the whistling. The second form would be light. Now to summarize this one, all it is just a lot of light. Like a lot. And maybe colorful light too, but just very bright, either with a big or small explosion. So big light, small or big explosion. Third form would be smoke. Now if you've ever seen those like fake colorful smoke bombs, yep, those are considered fireworks. They would fall under the category of smoke as a firework form. And finally, floating materials. I can't describe this one without saying confetti, because that's a very good representation of what it means. And another thing that falls into this category would be the firework where it shoots up like the little army figure. That like floats down on a tiny parachute. Yeah, because that one's really cool. I like that one.
Me too.
So fireworks came from China, and I hope everyone already knew that, but if you didn't, then we're actually teaching you some. So it was during the 7th century, which was the time of the Tang dynasty, where there was the earliest documentation of fireworks and when they were invented.
So that's a long time ago.
Yeah, man, it kinda is. And fireworks derive from one of China's 4 greatest inventions, and that's gunpowder.
So like cannons and stuff.
Yeah, you got the right idea. And it's crazy how it was discovered too, but it was basically founded 2,000 years ago, invented by accident by a Chinese cook working in a field kitchen, who happened to mix charcoal, sulfur, and saltpeter, also known as potassium nitrate. And at that time, all those things were commonly found in the kitchen. What happened was that the mixture burned, and when it was compressed in a bamboo tube, it exploded. After that, it eventually became a prominent creation and was used a lot at festivals. At that time, its main purpose was to expel evil spirits and bring back luck and happiness to everybody in those festivities. And knowing that they probably did celebrate a lot of things, there was bound to be a lot of fireworks.
Hey man, so are we gonna actually learn what goes on with fireworks and stuff? Or are you just gonna keep talking history or whatever?
Hey man, you need to stop rushing. Just be patient. We're gonna see some clips of some fireworks and then we'll get more into it. Everything you saw, specifically the fireworks in both clips, it's all chemistry in action.
Oh.
Colors are produced by chemicals. Some chemicals are used as fuels, and without chemistry, you wouldn't be able to have the burning mixtures in fireworks. And without those burning mixtures, there wouldn't be any fireworks at all.
Okay.
But what actually happens when you see those aerial displays?
Yeah.
Well, what goes up in the air and explodes is an aerial shell. It's
Aerial
basically
shell.
what people go to see at fireworks shows or whatnot.
Oh.
And you can see it being drawn right now on the screen.
Okay.
And it's basically a cardboard casing. And the bottom has a small pocket where it holds black powder, pulverized black powder propellant. There's also a very essential time fuse, and it goes from the propellant into what is the center of the casing. And that controls when the shell will explode while in the air.
Oh.
The center of the casing has a black powder bursting charge. And then aside from the center, there are small sized pellets of different chemicals that will produce the different effects and colors when the shell blasts open.
Okay.
So the shell is then placed in a mortar tube, and a
tube.
fuse or a wire extends out of the mortar tube.
Okay.
And when fired, the propellant in the bottom of the shell will ignite and then shoots the shell up into the air.
Oh.
And at the same time, the delay fuse inside the shell, which starts from the bottom and runs into the center of the shell, begins to burn. And after some seconds, depending on your desired height, the fuse burns into the center, which will light the bursting charge, and then boom! The shell blows open, and then you see whatever the firework has to offer. Alright, let's move on and get more into detail.
These days.
Alright, let's talk about how fireworks are made.
Alright.
Specifically aerial displays, because they're just too cool to not talk about and break down. And, because they just don't magically appear for us to light up.
True.
We can say that there are 5 ingredients to making pyrotechnic stars, which are the basis of fireworks, and are mostly seen in aerial displays.
Oh.
The first ingredient is a fuel, which allows the star to burn. And for the fuel, there's a lot that could be used.
Okay.
But for the sake of time and everybody's attention, metals and metalloids are typically used for fuels, specifically when they're powdered. The second ingredient is an oxidizer, or a compound that usually produces oxygen to support the combustion of the fuel.
Oh.
Perchlorates, chlorates, and nitrates are the most commonly used oxidizers, but the general idea with these is that the less oxidizer, the slower the burning and the more light produced.
Okay.
The third ingredient is a color producing chemical, which we will talk about in a bit, but keep in mind that there's multiple combinations of these.
Oh.
The fourth ingredient is a binder, or something that holds the whole thing together. And finally, the last ingredient is a chlorine donor, which provides chlorine to strengthen the color of the flame. And sometimes, some oxidizers serve the same purpose, so perchlorates and chlorates serve for this as well. Alright, let's continue.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of fireworks.
Oh.
I mean, like, there's way too many to count.
Oh.
And because there's lots of combinations between all of them, it really wouldn't help to list them all. But what we can do is list the major ones. Wait, so how many are there though? A lot, man. Let's just go over some though.
Oh.
We have multi-shot aerial displays. Those are the big shots that go boom in the sky. Roman candles, bottle rockets. We got spinners. Let's see. We got missiles, fountains, like a lot of those. Sparklers, firecrackers. Smoke items, and then also noisemakers and wheelie things,
wheelie things.
And by now I hope you get the point. And if you couldn't hear me the first time, then you're out of luck because I'm not going through that again. Thank you very much. Now there's many types of firework effects. We can go through them all, but we're only gonna go over a few.
Okay.
They've been categorized into the following: ground fireworks, aerial displays, and noise effects. Now, usually I would go along with the list, but unfortunately, I'm gonna go around with no particular order. Ground fireworks are comprised of effects that stay low on the ground. So, some examples would include smoke effects, sparklers, and fountain effects, which are pretty cool to look at. And then we have the noisemakers. And these have some of the most recognizable effects, like the bang, which is one of the most common ones. And sounds like a gun being fired 2 inches away from your ear. And then we have the famous crackle, the hummers, which are induced by spinning, which they shred and make noise.
Okay.
And then we have the whistle, which is a high-pitched sound effect created by the resonance of gas. And lastly, we have aerial displays. Now, there's way too many of them, but I'm going to name a few anyways. So we have the chrysanthemum, peony, the willow, the horsetail, the fish, the spider, the palm, the crosset, the camero, the rings, and plenty more to suit your mood. I bet you thought it was over. Nah. Now, since this is the chemistry of fireworks, let's talk a bit further about the chemicals that reside in fireworks. Now, all these chemicals are all mixed up, but they all play a major role in being used in fireworks. Some of these are oxidizers, fuels, and chlorine donors, things we discussed not too long ago. And some of these are used to create effects. For example, antimony. You know, the very last one on the list? Yup. It's used to create a glitter effect, mostly known for being used in aerial displays. Like this. Bloop! Ooh. And we also have some elements that help stabilize other turbulent elements used in fireworks. And we have elements that provide a color like radium, lithium, and copper. And a simpler list can be used to understand what colors will be produced by using certain metals. So if we take a better look at this, we can see that different chemicals are gonna cause different colors. Like my favorite, strontium and lithium. They're gonna produce red. Or titanium or aluminum. They're gonna produce a white. Or copper halides, which will produce a blue. Oh, I get it, cause it's red, white, and blue. Yeah, man, you got it. And then the bright yellow color can be produced with sodium. And gold with iron or charcoal. So when all of these are mixed and combined, you get crazy good aerial displays, you know? And one last note, if you're ever working or playing or whatever with any of these, be careful. Safety is your #1 priority, unless you're absolutely crazy. Look, all I'm saying is be safe, just don't blow yourself up or something. And without further ado, this has been The Chemistry of Fireworks by Jessica and Daniel. I hope y'all learned something, and thanks for watching. Let's talk about how fireworks are made, specifically aerial displays, because they're just too cool to not talk about and break down. And because they just don't magically Because they just don't magically What does that mean? What does that mean?
Let's just start over.
You're
Don't look at me like that.
you're in my.
Hey,
What color are you eating that with?
just green.
Hamburger helper, I just want that god.
So history.
Yeah, so 7th century.